comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? It's DK Wrestler here from the Funko Podcast, and in today's video, I'm going to be making my top 10 list of New York Comic Con exclusive Funko Pops. But before that happens, make sure you press that subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, let's check it out. So like I said, in today's video, I am going to be making a top 10 list of New York Comic Con exclusive Funko Pops. And that is mainly also because of the fact that we were expecting New York Comic Con exclusives to be announced this week. But Funko keeps delaying these announcements for some reason, even though usually it's the beginning to middle of September that they get announced. But we're getting close to the end of September. So I thought, you know what? I'll do some New York Comic Con content by making a top 10 list. So without further ado, let's begin this list with my number 10 pick. So coming in at number 10, it is the New York Comic Con shared with Amazon exclusive from 2019, Dwight Schrute with the bobblehead from The Office. Now actually, I do have that pop because I do have a near complete Office collection. I still have to get a couple of more. It's somewhere, it's actually on this wall here, but you guys can't see it because the photo of the pop is covering it. But I do own this pop and I really like it. It was cool to see an Office exclusive within the first year of when the Office Pops were released. And I really like it. It's got the bobblehead of Dwight and it's also popified, which is really, really cool. I wish it was kind of a bobblehead also as terms to the bobblehead that is in the hand, but I feel like that would have been a lot of work for Funko to do by making a tiny spring to make that head bobble, so it's fine the way it is. The reason it is basically at the bottom of this list is because I felt like I needed to put an Office pop because I do collect The Office, but out of all of the 10 different characters that we are putting on this top 10 list today, or I'm putting on this top 10 list today, I should say, I feel like this is a little plain compared to the other ones because the other ones are really detailed in my opinion, so that's why it's at the bottom of the list. So without further ado, let's move on to my number 9 pick. Coming in at number 9, it is also a New York Comic Con exclusive from 2019, and this was shared to the Funko shop, and this is the Marty McFly in hazmat suit from Back to the Future. Now, when this got announced, it was a really cool announcement because this is from the very first movie where Marty McFly is dressed up in the hazmat suit, and essentially he's got the kind of live, prosper, whatever that phrase is, and his hands are kind of like this because it is the scene where he puts the headphones on Marty's dad to wake him up and then basically tell him to ask Lorraine out to the dance, or else Darth Vader, which is what he calls himself here, Darth Vader from Planet Falcon, is going to melt his brains. And I'm glad that they made this into a Funko Pop. When I got this off of the secondary market because, of course, this pop doesn't ship to Canada since the Funko shop doesn't ship to Canada. And I bought it for like, I would say $40 Canadian, which I thought was a little up there in price. But now the pop is worth almost $200 Canadian, so it was one of those investments where I felt like it was high at the time, but it gradually got more expensive as time passed by, and it was kind of a good decision now that I had bought this pop. Not only that, I do collect the Back to the Future pops, so to try to get a complete set, it was cool to get this pop at the time. Let's move over to my number 8 pick. Coming in at number 8, it is a New York Comic Con 2016 exclusive, and this is the Joker from the Killing Joke movie. I've always had this weird soft spot for this pop, even though I've never obtained this pop ever. There was something about this where this was around the time I was first collecting Funko Pops, and I remember walking into my EB Games because I'm pretty sure this pop was shared to GameStop when this was released. And I remember seeing this pop on the shelves along with, I believe, Flocked Cookie Monster was also shared to GameStop. I could be wrong, but I remember there being a couple of pops being shared to GameStop / EB Games here in Canada, now GameStop Canada. And I remember seeing this pop and I thought about getting it, but to me, this is a really detailed pop. I love the detail with the hat, and you got the kind of camera with the thing that's around it to hold it, kind of like the lanyard, I guess I would call it, and it's got the cup in his hand also. Really cool outfit that this Joker has. The reason this pop was higher than the hazmat suit Marty is because of the fact of the detail. There is more detail in this than there is with the hazmat suit Marty, and that's why it is a little bit higher. And why it's a little low is because there's a bit more personal reaction as terms to the next few pops that are going to be making it to this list. So without further ado, let's move over to number 7. Coming in at number 7, it is the New York Comic Con 2018 shared with Hot Topic exclusive Captain Rex from Star Wars The Clone Wars. This pop is really cool, and I also do have a personal story to this because New York Comic Con 2018 was actually the first convention that I actually decided to go to, let's say, a Hot Topic or a GameStop, and wait 2 hours for a Funko Pop release. I was going for a different pop, but I had picked up my co-host MD Shady this pop, and little did I know that so many years later that a pop that costed $18 Canadian at retail price would end up being nearly $450 Canadian today, which is a little crazy because I could have gotten myself that pop and maybe I could have either sold it for a ridiculous price like it is right now, or used it as trade bait and get like a pop that is really expensive that I actually need for my collection. And this pop is really cool. I really love the idea that they did do a masked Captain Rex, because I know for the Clone Wars set they did previously do an unmasked Captain Rex for the set, so it was really cool to see a masked Captain Rex. The detail's really cool. He's got the 2 blasters and he's got his cool outfit. The reason it is not higher than the rest is, once again, is more personal reaction with the next, essentially, 6 pops on this list. So without further ado, let's move over to number 6. Coming in at number 6, it is the New York Comic Con 2019 shared with, I believe, Box Lunch exclusive Kevin with the Up House Pop Town. Now, a lot of people were really excited when this pop was released, especially because we had the first ever Kevin pop and we had a pop of the house, which is a huge important thing in the entire movie. This is really cool. I love the detail of Kevin, and I love the idea that they actually made a pop of the house itself. I felt like the house could have been its own pop itself. We have seen pops in the past where it's just an object, like example, and I think it was a New York Comic Con exclusive, was the Game of Thrones like throne where it's actually empty and then you could put your own pop sitting in the throne. So I wouldn't have been surprised if they ended up doing the Up House just by itself instead of having it with Kevin. But of course it's a pop town, and usually with pop towns you have the building and you have the character to go along with it, and I think Kevin was a pretty good choice considering like we've already had a couple of Carls before, we've had some Russells, so it's cool that we had a character that we never had before at that time, which was Kevin, and we have the Up House, which is really awesome. Really cool and really detailed, and definitely deserves to be one of the top 10 New York Comic Con exclusive pops in my opinion. Coming in at number 5 on my list, it is the New York Comic Con 2020, so it's very recent as of this video, shared with, I want to say it was shared to Entertainment Earth, but I could be wrong, and that is Mermaid Man. This is a great looking pop. I was super surprised to see Mermaid Man be put into Funko Pop form. It's really cool that we do have this for the SpongeBob lineup instead of having a bunch of different variants of SpongeBob SquarePants. The detail of Mermaid Man is just practically spot on. Like, I don't see really any gripes as terms to this character. You got the pink slippers, you have the one pose, even the facial expression of Mermaid Man is pretty much spot on. You got the hair. I can't really see anything wrong. The Barnacle Boy was a little weird, but I felt like the Mermaid Man was just spot on, and it was a great Comic-Con exclusive release. The reason why it's not higher than number 5 is because these next 4 pops, I felt like there was a bit more detail to make them a little better than this one, even though there is a lot of sweet details involving this. And I think with a lot of these next 4 pops, I do have more of a personal reaction going into these rather than the Mermaid Man, although the Mermaid Man is just totally awesome. Without further ado, let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4, it is the New York Comic Con 2018, shared with, I want to say Barnes & Noble because of where this licensor is, and that is the Professor Quirrell from Harry Potter. This pop is a game changer as terms to just Funko Pops overall. It is something that we had never seen up until this point as terms to a Funko Pop, and as you can see in the picture, or at least hopefully I can find a picture to show you guys what I'm talking about, is the fact that it's the very first ever Funko Pop, and I think they did this with another Funko Pop. The pop there with just like the normal face, but behind the hat, or in this case it's kind of the, I don't know what to call it, I don't want to use the certain words that could offend people, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to say the headwear or the headgear that is on Professor Quirrell, and behind that is another face, which had never been done in Funko Pop form up until this point, and I think it's really awesome. This is one of those Harry Potter pops that really amazed me, because a lot of times Harry Potter pops don't amaze me because of the fact, like, it's either going to be another variant of Harry Potter or Ron Weasley or Hermione Granger that we've seen so many times before, and now this is just a unique idea to add to certain characters that had never been made previously. And I just love the idea of having the Voldemort on the back of the head of Professor Quirrell, because that's exactly what happens in the very first Harry Potter movie, and it ended up turning out really, really awesome. This is one of those pops where I look at it and it's like, man, I'm an in-box collector, but this would be amazing to show out of box because of this hidden detail as terms to this Funko Pop. So let's move on to number 3. Coming in at number 3, it is the New York Comic Con 2018 shared with Hot Topic exclusive Carnage for the Venom lineup. Carnage is one of my favorite, maybe even my favorite Marvel villain, and I'm trying to get every Carnage pop that Funko has made, and this is one of the first ones that I ended up getting, and I think it's really, really awesome in detail. I love just the whole mold overall. And this was one of those pops. I went to Hot Topic originally just to get this, and kind of last minute, that's where I went and got the Captain Rex. Carnage is an awesome character. I can't wait to see the Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage movie, and I actually still have to get that Funko Pop and the 10-inch for that set, because that will help complete my Carnage set. But this pop is great. The reason it is at number 3 and not higher is because of the fact that there is a little more detail as terms to the next 2 pops on this list, and I once again have more of a personal reaction as terms to these next 2. So without further ado, let's move over to number 2. Coming in at number 2 on my list, it is the New York Comic Con 2019 shared with GameStop exclusive Hero Killer Stain from My Hero Academia. Now, it's only within the last year that I've actually watched My Hero Academia for the first time, and seeing this pop, I remember going to my EB Games, since that's where it was shared to here in Canada, and I debated for a while on whether I was going to buy this or not, because this figure is so detailed. Like, I've never seen anything so detailed in my life, where this pop, it's got crazy cool hair, you got the bandana, and the way the eyes look are something that we never really see in Funko Pops up until this point, or really ever up until this point in 2021. And even with the tongue sticking out, with the mouth, and with the blades and everything, it's just so cool. And I really wanted to get this, and I ended up not getting it because I had not seen the show. And then after I seen the show, I was like, damn, I regret not getting this pop, because Hero Killer Stain ended up becoming my favorite character in the entire series. Reason it didn't make number 1, first of all, huge personal reaction as terms of this, and if you know me personally, you probably already know before I even say what it is on what this pop is. And number 2, the detail on it is just fantastic also. Probably just as great of detail in my opinion as this Hero Killer Stain. So without further ado, let's move over to my number 1 pick. Coming in at number 1, my number 1 favorite New York Comic Con exclusive pop of all time up until this point in 2021 is the New York Comic Con 2018 shared with Box Lunch exclusive Pizza Planet with Buzz Lightyear pop rides from Toy Story. First off, personal reaction, because I freaking love Toy Story. People who watch this channel know that I basically have a complete Toy Story set ever since the 20th anniversary wave in 2015, and this pop is just fantastic in detail with all the scuffs and dirt in the vehicle. You got the Pizza Planet logo on the sides of the doors, and you have the little spaceship on the top of the vehicle. The detail behind it, unfortunately, I have the pop over here, but I don't want to take it out of box and kind of show you guys at the moment, so all you guys have, unfortunately, is the photo right there to show you guys what it looks like. And I think what basically just tops it all off is the detail of having the Buzz Lightyear super tiny, because it's accurate to the movie. That is my favorite New York Comic Con exclusive Funko Pop of all time up until this point. Maybe 2021 exclusives, they might have a pop that surpasses. Highly doubt it, but you never know. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you enjoyed my top 10 list of New York Comic Con exclusive Funko Pops, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let me know what your favorite New York Comic Con exclusive pop was. Was it one I mentioned on this list, or was it one that wasn't mentioned on this list? And like I said earlier, press the subscribe button for more content like this video in the future, and press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video, and hope to see you guys next time. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here. Follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Popcast. If you want to check out some of our other content that's featured on our channel, you can click either the playlist that's on your screen right now featuring previous episodes of our weekly podcast, A Funko Popcast, or we have suggested a video for you guys in relation to today's video.